Hello everyone, welcome to the first lecture of CISA-THIS-MUCH. Welcome to the first part of Domain 1 where we will understand about audit. Now guys, this lecture is more important for those people who are not from audit background, who are from purely technical background and do not have much knowledge about auditing. So let's begin with the question, what is audit? Now guys, these things whatever I have written over here, these things are not mentioned in a book, and these things you are not supposed to mug up, but these things you are supposed to understand, right? Because it's very important to understand what is audit, because the exam which we are appearing itself is about auditing. The exam says certified information systems auditor, right? So the exam itself is about auditing. So it's very important to understand about audit, to understand, not to mug up, not to by heart things, but to understand what is audit, what is actual audit, right? So let's begin. What is audit? An audit is an official examination of something by an independent body. An audit is an official examination of something by an independent body. Now I want everyone to highlight these two words, and a very important word: examination and independent body. It's very important to understand these two words, right? Examination and also done by an independent body. So guys, I want everyone to associate themselves with this word examination. I know that we all have given so many examinations in our lives. We have given 10th standard, we have given 12th standard, we have done graduation degree, post graduation degree. In fact, we are right now preparing for some exam, and that is CISA exams, right? So we have given so many exams in our lives. Now understand that when a person is appearing for any exam, what does a person expect in written? When a person gives an exam, what does he expect in written? He expect a result, he expect a opinion about himself, he expect a report card, he expect opinion about his performance, opinion about himself, right? So whenever a person is appearing for exam, that person expect something in written, that is result of that exam, opinion of that person, right? Similarly over here also there are two people. Number one is auditor and number two is the organization, also known as auditee. So auditor is conducting an exam of auditee, right? So auditee is a student over here. Auditor is conducting examination of a student, and the student is none other than the auditee, the organization, right? So when auditee is appearing for an exam, what does auditee expects in written? Auditee expects opinion, result, report, right? So here auditor will issue something known as a report card, also known as audit report, right? So auditor has conducted examination of auditee, so auditee will expect what? Audit report by the auditor, right? Audit report is nothing but a mark sheet, a report card, whatever you can say, right? So this report card will highlight the weaknesses as well as the strengths of the auditee, right? When I talk about strengths and weaknesses, I'm talking about strengths and weaknesses depending upon the type of audit being done. Let's say for example, the audit being is done to check the IT governance, to check the value of IT derived by the organization. whenever an organization invests in IT, right, it also expects something in return, right? So let's say the audit is to check the IT governance. Let's say the audit is to check the value of IT derived by the organization. So right, depending upon the type of audit being done, the auditor will issue a report card which will talk about the strengths as well as the weaknesses in that particular area, right? So uh, so the auditor will issue a report which will highlight the strengths as well as the weaknesses, right? And the second word, the the second word to talk about was um, independent body. Now this word is very important to understand, because once you go ahead you will see a lot of questions just on this particular topic, the basic topic, independent body, right? Right, understand that when a teacher, or when a school, or when a college, or when ISACA is conducting an exam, right, so it will charge something from the students. It will charge fees when, let's say, the teacher or the school authority or the college or the university, or maybe let's say ISACA, let's say if these people are conducting any exam, right, conducting exam of the student, right, these people, the teacher, the schools, the colleges, the university, they will charge in return of fees for the exam, right? Fees for conducting the exam, right? So the student here is expecting a mark sheet, a report card, right? Now here the teacher or the school is nothing but the auditor, and as said earlier, the student are nothing but the auditee, right? So don't you think so, when an auditor is conducting an examination, obviously the auditor also will gonna charge some fees for the service, right? So don't you think so that the person who is charging fees, a person who is financially dependent on someone, a auditor, don't you think so the auditor is financially dependent? He is financially dependent. His bread and butter is depended on whom? The auditee, right? The auditor, when an auditor is performing an audit, don't you think so indirectly he is dependent, because his bread and butter, his fees, his income is indirectly coming from whom? From the auditee, the organization, right? So don't you think so that the auditor will can give a biased opinion? Because let's say if I am dependent on someone, I am bound to give a biased report, right? So this is not how the thing works, right? So the auditor cannot give a biased report just because of the fact that the auditee is giving him the fees, right? So here what is important is the auditor should give unbiased, true and fair view of the organization. He must maintain honesty and integrity, right? So just because I am getting fees, I am getting money from someone, I cannot give a biased report. The university, the colleges, the teachers, everyone, they cannot give a biased report. They cannot give a report every time in favor of the student, just because of the fact that their source of income is dependent on the students, right? So this is not how the things work, right? So the auditor also works like them, right? So auditor also needs to give an unbiased report, a true report. He must maintain his professional independence. He must maintain his professional independence, right? So I want everyone to come back to the definitions. What is an audit? An audit is an official examination. Exam. Who is conducting an exam? Auditor is conducting an exam of the auditee, right? An audit is an official examination of something by an independent body. Independent body. Auditors are independent, right? So you must understand this definition to understand what is audit, right?